Good everyone, Garage King here, and today we're going to review the VW Tiguan. This is a second generation, so 2016 to present, and it is an R line, which gets you a few more bits, such as 21-inch wheels, you get some upgraded brakes, a little bit nicer lights, and it's got a little bit more of an aggressive stance. So let's take a look under the hood, what we have, because with the R, you do get a 2-liter turbo, but is it good? Well, it's 184 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, and you get 221 foot-pounds of torque at 1,600 RPM. But keep in mind, this is a 3,800-pound vehicle, so it's not the lightest vehicle, but the one thing I do like is the torque specs down low. But we'll see if that translates into a good driving experience. Now, the interior components are high quality. The piano finish on the steering wheel is very nice. I like the leather in the seats, and the dash has got a really nice display. Everything is laid out nice and easy. Now, the other thing is the back seats. How big are they? Well, if you got child seats, no issues there. There is quite a bit of room in the back seat. Now, if we pop the back hatch, can we get all of our Costco groceries in the back? And yes, it looks that way. Definitely very roomy in the back, so I was impressed with that. It wasn't a very small hatch. Definitely had room for those Costco groceries. Here is a quick view of the gauges. You can see you have different multiple settings you can do with the gauges. There's just a ton here, and you know, to go through everything would sort of be beyond the scope of this video because it's just a quick review. But as you can see, they are quite customizable, so whatever your heart desires, you can set them for that. Now, the other thing you do have is a mode selector where you can select different driving conditions such as snow, custom, sport, normal, eco, and off-road, just to name a few. Within the glove box, you can see here there is a CD player, and there's also some electrical cards that can be put in there for recording. Here, it's got a beautiful panoramic sunroof. I really like that, and it definitely makes the vehicle feel airy. The 8-speed automatic shifts really nice on this vehicle. It's got a low first, which is nice because it actually lets you get some get up and go off the line. It's tuned for 87, but because it's tuned for 87, you get the performance of 87. Now, one thing to note with this vehicle is it's got the 2-liter turbo, so it's got, I think, 184 horsepower, and this thing's probably weighing around 4,000 pounds or so, give or take. So that puts you at a power-to-weight ratio of around 20 to 1. So 20 pounds for every 1 horsepower to move around. So it's not going to have the get up and go that a lot of bigger SUVs would have, or definitely sports cars. Once you start getting into the 10 range, you start getting into quicker cars. And then once you get down into the 5 range, you're actually very, very fast. That would be Corvette Z06 fast. But for a good vehicle that's built around economy, I think it does its job very well. So we're just going to accelerate a little bit. And you can see, there we go. So it's not bad. It's not a race car. It's not a race car by any stretch, but it's definitely not bad. The other thing is, if you want to cut a little bit of time off your 0 to 60, you can go into manual mode on the shifter here. You can go to the side and you can shift it whatever you want. You can see now I'm in M1, and what that does is it lets me control it so it won't shift until I shift it up. There's M2, and then we can go M3 and then back to our automatic. So that can save us a little bit of time on our 0 to 60. So what did I think of the Volkswagen Tiguan? Well, you know what? It's a decent vehicle. You get a good value. There's good storage in there. It definitely looks good, and it's got Volkswagen quality. However, I don't think it's for me just because I don't think it had enough get up and go for me. But that's just my personal driving experience. Now, these vehicles have been out for a few years, so I'm curious to see what you think of them. So if you have any questions or comments like that, please leave them in the video below. Other than that, Garage King out, and we will see you next week.